Boop doop doop boop 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 beep. All right, what is going on, guys? I hope everyone is doing well. Collins, Spiritual, welcome, buddies. Let me know if the audio is good as always. It should be. I had the settings set to as they normally are. So if you wouldn't mind, please just let me know if everything is synced up, if everything is sounding good. Because I know we were also having some major issues last time. Sporky boy in the house. What is up, my man? How are you today? But yeah, guys, I hope everyone I am pretty excited myself, Sporky or Spiritual, I'll tell you. Like I'm pretty ecstatic right now. Pretty ecstatic myself. But yeah, guys, we're back with UnOrdinary. It's getting crazy. John is taking matters into his own hands this time around. So, it's pretty intense. It's pretty intense right now, I would say. So last week we left off with I actually didn't intend to make that pun, Spiritual. But last week, we started off with John reflecting on everything that was going on inside the safe house. Like, he was putting all the pieces together with Terrence and then thinking about why Serafina was holding everything back from him. And, in doing so, he kind of he broke his pencil and everyone freaked out. Like, he broke his pencil and everyone was like, oh, what is up? Hello, me board. Broke his pencil and everyone was like, oh, John. And Black was like, hey, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. This question's really hard. And Black was like, hey, well, don't freak out. Hey, Miriam, welcome. Glad you're here. Yeah, Black was like, well, don't freak out like that. And he was like, and John was like, oh, sorry. Like, played it off 100% cool. Joe Chill up in the house. Or Joe Cool up in the house. And Black was just like, huh, that's weird. Anyway, so John left safe house. He was done with his work. And Arlo showed up because it was his shift to kind of take over for everything. And then Arlo saw that John was there and he was like, yo, why is John here? And Blake was like, he joined last week. Animation and Solo, what is up, guys? Hope you're doing well. Guys, is the audio good? Let me know if it's all synced up and nice. But yeah, so, Arlo, so John's willing to swallow his pride to, help Serafina. Christopher, what is up, my guy? But yeah, so after that, John was kind of walking around the school for a bit, just doing his thing. Tried reaching out to Sarah, but she was like, hey, sorry, I can't hang out today. I got things going on. He was like, are you kidding me? But as he was walking around, he ran into none other than the infamous man himself, Zeke and Martin, picking on some weaker students. And, John was kind of freaking out. He was like, I need to get out of here. I'm going to do something stupid. I'm going to cause a scene. I need to get out of here. But John saw Zeke beating up on these kids. Martin himself was like, hey, we shouldn't be doing this. They're going to get pissed again. But John remembered what his dad told him, hey, you're strong, use your strength, just judge for yourself, how much strength you should use. And John was like, freaking out. Ultimately, he just didn't even need to use his powers. I was hoping for a fight. I'm gonna be real. I was hoping that John was gonna be like, nah, Zeke, you can catch these hands, bitch. But no, he was like, hey, let him go. That's enough. Just get out of here. Get lost. And Zeke was like, okay, fine. Don't hurt me. I'm a little bitch. He just walked off. And John didn't even say anything. Didn't check if the guys were okay. He just started walking off. And one of them said hey, thanks. And John just left. Anyway, after school, Serafina was heading to the train station, heading to none other than Agwin. We are finally heading back to Agwin, you guys. And John was following her on the train himself. And he was just, and you know, he's just like, I'm taking matters into my own hand. My friend needs me. Like, I'm gonna, like, I might do something stupid, but like I need to see what's going on. So John is following Sarah to Agwin. Chapter is out now, you guys. So let's go ahead and let's get started with this. So here we go, guys. Here we go. So we're in a park. Okay, so Hilford Park. It's just got some trees, you know, some foliage. Hey, La Cake, welcome, buddy. Anyway, so, you know, everyone's just chatting, and Sarah's just, like, you know, walking around, and John's just behind her, like, you know, telling her a little bit. Anyway, so Sarah's just on her phone. You know, she's just, like, texting everything, and John's, like, ugh, like, in the back, just, like, ugh. And he, like, hides behind a tree as, like, Sarah just, like, does a quick stretch. She's just, like, Sarah's just, like, ugh. And John's, like, ugh, getting behind a tree. Okay, and Sarah's like, huh? She looks behind her, and John just, like, still, like, she turns around, like, just keeps walking, and John just, like, Whew. UnOrdinary episode 243. Let's go. Okay, this guy is Caden? I think his name's Caden. So it's the guy who was with Layla before. Yo, my man looking clean. My man looking clean. He's got a nice jacket on, like just a white, basic white shirt. He's rocking some One headphones, just listening to some music. Caden. So Seraphine just, Caden. And he just like takes off, like, Sarah, there you are. You're looking pretty fancy today. She gives him a head up. He's like, thanks. Not bad yourself, miss. And you're just like, I just did a formal presentation with my professors. How'd it go? Pretty sure I aced it. And, you know, they're just talking, no real words. Like, John can't really make it out. He's just watching in the bushes being a creep. And he's just like, what the hell? Is this a date? That's why she's been so busy lately? Because she's seen someone? And he's just in the bushes like, ... She didn't, okay? Now shut up. This isn't a damn joke. You got me all worked up over this? Arlo, you fucking liar. And he's just clenching his fist. Some things never change. And he's just, who the hell is this guy anyway? And he's just still in the bushes like, how come I've never seen him before? He looks older. When did he and Sarah even meet? How do they know each other? And why would Sarah try so hard to hide this from me? And he's just like tipping his hat like, does she think I'll react badly? He just ... She doesn't trust me at all. And he just like gets up and like starts walking away. So why'd you call me up? Today was supposed to be your day off. Did something happen? And she like activates her ability like, I'm not getting any better. Whenever I activate my ability, I just like, I think it starting to fade. And he's just, huh? And he like turns around like, why did she just... Oh, and she's fainting. And he's, no, wait a sec. Something isn't right. Yep, I called it, you guys. Her ability isn't 100% back. So like, he's like looking at her aura and he's getting smaller. Like, her aura. Why is it so much weaker than before? Hey, take it easy. Layla warned how delicate the recovery process would be, and you ignored her. Well, it was a lousy warning. All right. I'll bring you back to the lab and we could take a look. Hang tight. And so he's starting to activate his ability. He's starting to activate his ability to disappear, and John's just like, teleportation? They're gone! And he gets out of the bush. Where did he take her? So, okay. So, It's school. It's school. This probably the next day. Probably the next day. So Wellston Private High School, the safe house, 224. Yep, next day. And John just like hunched over on the desk like, so Arla was telling the truth after all. I felt it. There was an inconsistency with Sarah's ability. And that guy she was with seems to know something about it. He took her away so casually, as if it was a routine. I just want some fucking answers. Is that too much to ask? Excuse me, John? It's Evie. He's like, he just looks up, huh? Hi, I'm Evie. We're about to start another round of New Texas Hold'em. It's the girl that Sarah hangs out a lot with. Would you like to join us? He's, wait, you're asking me? And she just like, you don't have to if you don't want to. And he like turns around and like see who's like, it's just we heard you were a big fan of this game, so we figured we'd invite you to play. And, there's a few kids in the circle. Looks like one of the kids that John rescued the other day is there. So we figured we'd invite you to play. Yeah, it's the one kid. It's one of the kids that he says, and he like looks at John. He's like, hides behind the cards. That's the kid from yesterday. Was this his idea? And like Remy's in the class, she just stretches like at a desk and everything. And she looks over. She's like, can you believe it? He hasn't lost a single hand. Yo, John is smoking the boys. Let's go. Can you believe it? He hasn't lost a single hand yet. What are the chances he gets the best cards every round? And I'm just, And she like gets up like, nah, you've got it all wrong. It's not just about the cards. It's that he can easily read the others based on their play style. But no one else can tell what he's thinking. You know so much. Why don't you play around? And get crushed? Hell no. And you're just ... I can't do this any longer. It's Evie. I'm out. And she just, you didn't need to fold. You could have tried to bluff your way through. There's no way I'd get away with that. John would have noticed. He's too good. It's fine. You two keep playing. And the kid's just like, well, okay. He just looks at John, and John's just like, he's scary. Maybe we shouldn't have invited him. I'm all in. And this kid's got like nothing, and John just got stacks. And John just ... He's desperate. So we got a king, a 4, a jack, a 6, and a 10. He wants me to think he has a straight, but he doesn't know. But I know he doesn't. He sits upright and relaxes his shoulders when he's confident, but when he's unsure, he fiddles with his tie. And like kid's just like messing with his tie. His cards must be decent if he's willing to give up the rest of his chips. I bet he has a 2 pair. So John is thinking he has a 10 and a 4. Okay. If that's the case, there's almost no chance he beats my hand. Once I call, he'd lose everything and I'd win. And John like stops for a moment. But so what if I win? They're all rooting for him. He like sees everyone like kind of like behind the other kid, and Remy's there too. They're all rooting for him. If I want to integrate myself into the safe house, if I want to get on this trip, figure out what's going on with Sarah, then it can't always be me versus them. And Remy just, And John just throws his cards down. He had a king and a 5. I'm out. You win this round. And the kid's just, huh? Really? I won? Nice going, little dude. Yeah, that was impressive. I can't believe I won. You really hung in there. Congrats. And he's not mad, is he? He played well. He just smiles like, thanks. Do you want to keep playing? Sure. And Remy just ... question mark. Did John just give in on purpose? Is he really trying to get along with everyone? And she's just like kind of raising an eyebrow, just ... And John just like just blank face, and like, tomorrow's the day where we vote on whether he gets to join us on the trip. Could he have a chance after all? Unordinary episode 243 and okay, that was a nice little quick chapter. That was a nice little quick chapter. Um so yeah, not as exciting as I thought it was gonna be. Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. Nah, he couldn't be. He couldn't be. I was about to say, it doesn't matter because he wasn't even in this chapter, but I was about to say, yo, what if Brovin is related to Caden? Since, they both have the same hair color. They have different eyes, though. But, they're both, like, darker skin toned. Both from Agwin, apparently, or, both are there. But, like, Uru has, like, made it to where, like, the known siblings in the series do not look like each other. But anyway, like that was a nice little chapter. Like John is starting to piece more things together. Like I said last time, John is not dumb. When it comes to aura, like John is definitely not book smart, as by his grades and everything, like probably doesn't even like try that much. But when it comes to auras, John knows what the fuck is up. He knows what to do. John is smart. John plans ahead. John got the Sharingan like me. He got the Sharingan like me, guys. Like John is able to see like what's going on, like what's gonna happen. He's able to put things together. And so like he's like quickly, at first like John was like, oh, she's just on a date, like she really didn't like want to tell me about this. But then he realized something was going on with her aura, and he was like, wait a minute, no, something's wrong. He was like, this guy's in on it. Like, that's what Arlo meant. Like, this guy, like, he's been helping Seraphina for so long. So, that's dope. That's hella dope. And, like, maybe Sarah, she recently pushed herself too far trying to freeze a high tier like Arlo. Like, maybe, like, because, like, clearly she pushed herself too far when she fought John. But, like, maybe she also pushed herself a little bit too much when she froze Arlo a few chapters ago. He's a god tier. He's pretty strong. But maybe that was pushing it for her. Actually, hold up. Let's pull up something else real quick. Let's pull up something else real quick. Let's go to the Turf Wars for a sec. Why don't we? So back in the Turf Wars in episode 17, did Sarah fully freeze Arlo back then? Okay, no, I don't think she froze Arlo at all back then, but she did super accelerate herself to break his barrier. I was going to say, like, hold up. I think Sarah froze Arlo completely back in Turf Wars. I think Sarah completely froze Arlo back in Turf Wars, but she didn't. She just kind of hyper accelerated herself to be able to break his barrier. But last time she only partially fully froze him. Like, there was still his eyes that were still there. But also Sarah has done that in the past, like when she wants to send a message. Like she did that to Elaine when she was like, hey, mind your own fucking business. So so that could have been kind of a stretch on my side. But anyway, like John integrating into the safe house. I'm glad we got to see New Texas Hold'em again. Like that was actually pretty cool. Like, just nice little slice of life stuff with like John becoming more popular. John's finally hanging out with Evie, our glorious queen, guys. Our beautiful little baby. But yeah, and we got to see like the good karma of John helping someone and like that coming back, because the first person we saw John help is probably a domestic terrorist of sorts. But who knows? But yeah. Yeah. Batman versus UnOrdinary. Dude, if Bruce Wayne, I'm going to be real, Bruce Wayne, you know, if Bruce Wayne had access to all of his tech, he could probably still do very well in the UnOrdinary world without an ability. Random little tidbit right there. But that was cool. And like next week, we decide apparently, well, maybe, probably, I think Uru is going to skip to the next day next week since she just dropped that. But we find out if John is going to be able to go on the safe house trip. Now, clearly, I think Remy is going to give John the benefit of the doubt. I do think it definitely would be a lot smarter for John to just talk to Remy and, you know, just be like, hey, look, like, here's why I do want to go on this trip. I think something's going to happen with Serafina. I think something's going to happen with Serafina. Like, I want to be there if she needs backup. And, you know, like, I think if, now clearly John probably won't tell Remy because that probably also won't look good on him. It probably also make Remy worry and cancel the trip altogether. Blake is clearly going to vote no. Blake is clearly going to be like, no, hell no, like he's not coming. Now, is it going to be a public vote actually? Is it going to be a public vote or just like between like the high ranking members of the safe house? I think Remy would definitely give John the benefit of the doubt and let him go. Like, see, like my vote's for John going. Blake will definitely vote hell no, like I don't trust him, like he doesn't need to go, especially because Blake knows that it's all about John for going on the trip. John doesn't care about the others, he just wants to get on for himself to help out Serafina. Eisen might vote for John. I think Eisen is a bit of a wild card when it comes to that. So I think he will, I think like he might be like, you know what, like John hasn't really done anything. Like, I think Eisen will be like, you know, like, I'm terrified of him, but he hasn't really done anything, you know, like, against us. So, like, sure, like, why not let him go? I think that Sarah is definitely going to try and keep John off the trip. She may actually vote no. And I think Arlo is actually going to vote yes. Like, I think Arlo is going to realize John's willing to swallow his pride to integrate into the safe house. He's like starting to piece everything together. And you know what? John's fucking right. Like, we're both in over our head. We need another high ranker like us, especially one whose ability is fully active, to back us up. Like, John, like, come on the fucking trip. Or maybe all of the high rankers will be like, you know what, John, like, we appreciate your effort, but unfortunately, we're still not going to let you go on the trip. And then maybe, like, everybody else is going to be like, no, let him come. Like, you know, like, he's been hanging out with us. Like, he's been trying to, like, just let him come. Maybe all the little people will let John come. Like, they'll be like, no, like, just let John come. Like, just let him hang out with us. Like, maybe the little people will have his back. Like, maybe the little people will be like, maybe all the high rankers will be like, or maybe, like, you know, Rand would be like, yes, everyone else will be like, no, so we'll be like, sorry, John, you can't come, but then everyone else will be like, no, let John come, like, why can't he come, like, just let him come, it'll be fine. Ooh, Terrence might sabotage, ooh, Solo, okay, Terrence wants to interfere, so Sarah doesn't want John on the trip. Terrence probably doesn't want John on the trip. We haven't seen much of Terrence, so we actually don't know how much Terrence is able to put together. He has been keeping an eye on everyone, though, so he might have put a few things together, and honestly, I wouldn't hold it against Uru if Terrence has put things together off screen. Terrence isn't really a main focus. He's a main focus for our main characters, but he's not a main focus for us, the audience. So I wouldn't hold it against Uru if Terrence pieces everything together off screen. If he's like, oh, I know why John wants to get on the trip. He wants to try and, like, you know, interfere with Sarah's plan, with our plans with Serafina and everything. So Terrence might, like, do some, like, invisibility shit and, like, sneak around and, like, you know, try and, like, tamper with the votes and everything. John may catch him, and he may either catch the flack for it, or he might catch the flack, like, hey, like, he's interfering with the votes, like, you know, we couldn't trust him, or he may expose Terrence for interfering with the votes. And if he exposes Terrence for interfering with the votes, everyone might be like, yo, Terrence, what are you doing? That's not cool, man. And everyone's gonna be like, yo, Terrence can't come on the trip. That's what I think is going to happen next week. I just said a lot of possibilities, and I think at least one of them will definitely happen. That is also true. Like Terrence not wanting to draw suspicion to himself. It's definitely possible. Yeah, John can also. I mean, he followed her to Agwin. Without her realizing. Like, John could very well easily just tag along with everyone to where are they going? Rowden? Is that where they're going? Seemingly undetected, but people might, or maybe. Here's another curveball. John isn't allowed to go on the trip. So he just puts up his disguise nah, I'm going. Puts up his disguise. Maybe Arlo tells everyone, you know what? Something came up. I can't go on the trip. But what Arlo's actually going to do is, hey, I'm rich. I got money. You and me, we're going to Rowden and, we're going to back up Serafina. You and me. We're going by ourselves. We won't be with the safe house. Could happen. Because, that's the trio now. We have the trio, and then we have the trio prime, the god tiers. I don't know. I'm just saying. John knows how to think, though. John, and even that little bit at the end where he realized what his school situation was right now. He was John wasn't trying to flex. John wasn't trying to I'm better than everyone. John's not Zeke. He doesn't care about looking better than people. John's just good at the game. John's just good at reading people. He was just using his natural skill. We're just just playing a game. I'm good at this game. Of course, I'm gonna do well at this game. He wasn't trying to flex. He was just playing the game. But he's I got all this money. This little guy doesn't have any money. He clearly can't beat me right now. But you know what? I gotta get in with these people. I need them to trust me. And he was hey, you know what, man? I fold. You win this game. He's I got nothing. You win. Good job. You played pretty well. And he was I won. I beat John. So yeah, John's a genius, guys. John's a genius in his own right. What if Rain hears that Blyke is the new king, and since she beat him last time, she thinks she can beat him again, so her school king be on top. So we get a rematch between the two. Honestly, with Ison, Blyke, and Remy being Agwin's new or being Welston's new trio, their official royals, Welston might actually get beat out by Agwin. I think it would only be fair for Rain to still be stronger than Blyke and a high tier at that now. What was Go's level? Go was only a 4, so Go might lose to Ison. Ison gonna get 100% folded by Rain, easy. Rain versus Blyke, she still might beat him. I don't think she'll be stronger than Remy. She might be Remy's level actually, but I do still stand that Broven would definitely be stronger than Remy, because like I said before, I think that Broven is at least close in level, if not on par, to Arlo in terms of power and everything. But yeah, Uru, we just really want to see the Agwin trio again. Just bring them back, Uru. Just let us see how they've evolved. Show us Broven's ability. Give us Arachnid John, Uru. But man, things really are heating up. We are still... We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are 8 episodes since the return of season 2, and we still haven't had a fight. I think we can definitely expect something big in Rowden when they finally confront the people that Sarah is working with in Rowden, or for whatever happens in Rowden. I think Uru is like saving the fights. Like these last few things have been like very story driven episodes, which I don't mind at all. I think the story's progressing pretty nicely right now, actually. We've got to see John in a completely different setting, like analyzing everything for once, because he has to analyze everything around, because he's in the dark. He's the one in the dark right now. And just another thing to point out. This is John figuring out everything on his own. This is John realizing everything that's going on around him in a matter of like days, actually. Like, everyone else had to figure out everything together over the course of like a month or so at least, or maybe at most, but like everyone had to figure out everything like that was going on together. Like, they had to get information from each other, they had to look into different possibilities and everything. John is piecing everything together by himself in a matter of months. He's realizing the things that people have said around him, so kind of wasn't 100% on himself, but like it's like he wasn't in the loop for these things. Like, Arlo told him what he told him so John would shut up, or to try to get John to shut up. He realizes like that Sarah brought up Terrence before in the past when he was really angry at her and didn't want to listen. But like, John is piecing everything together, and like I think that's another testament as just how smart John really is. So yeah, it's true. He's got the main character IQ. But yeah, like it, like I said, it makes sense. I don't think this is like, think this is like making John like too overconfident or too overpowered or anything. Like, this is all like he's figuring out everything like because of his usage of auras, like his mastery of being able to read auras. I just think it's really cool, like, see John in like, this new perspective, like this new light and everything. But yeah, guys, that will be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the chapter. I certainly did. Uru, fantastic job on this chapter. Like, this chapter was actually really nice and sweet to read. Like, that little bit where John thought Sarah was on a date, that was actually pretty cute. Cause I think Uru was trying to show maybe that like John and Seraphina's relationship is just strictly platonic, because it seemed like John was like, she's on a date, like that's what's going on, she's been seeing someone, like I need to like he was still kind of confused, like, why did you want me, like why didn't she tell me, like like that's kind of like that hurts a little bit, like she didn't want to tell me. But then like when he thought he realized that it was just a date, he like got up to leave. Like, he was like, I shouldn't be here, like this is my friend's like personal life, like I shouldn't be like interfering with this. But like as soon as like he felt her aura like disperse and everything, he was like, wait a minute, like that's not what's going on, like this isn't a date, like something else is up. Anyway, so yeah, that's true, Solo, but at the same time, but what if John substitute either Blake or Ison and fights in a turf? Would he do it? I would absolutely love to see, like, get us John, Arlo, and Sarah on a team, and like throw them against some fucking insane opponents. Like, show us an ability we have never seen before, or like could have even considered. Like, show us that, Uru. Like, show us John doing something crazy with a brand new ability. That would be dope. Oh, that'd be so sick. Oh man, it was this chapter was good. Like, this chapter was just short, sweet. It was story. It was just focusing on John as a character, I loved it. I loved it. Which is really weird because you guys know I usually only like go this hard for like the fight chapters and everything. But these last story chapters have actually just been so good and like so interesting to see like John in like a new element and everything. Oh man, I gotta stop. You know, I'm just rambling at this point, guys. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video or the stream tonight. I certainly enjoyed spending time with you all. But yeah, like next week, it looks like John's fate for the trip will be decided. And like I said, there's probably a lot of possibilities that can happen next week. But until then, you guys, I hope you all enjoyed the stream. Question of the day. Question of the day. What's a good question of the day? Question of the day, who do you guys think will vote what way for John going on the trip to Rowden? Like I said, so put that in the comments down below. Like I said, I think personally that it's going to be Remy, Ison, and Arlo voting for John to go on the trip. That's just one of my possibilities. Like this is the route of like it's just the higher ups of the club who get to vote on whether or not John goes. So I think that Remy, Ison, and Arlo will vote that John should be allowed to go on the trip. Remy because she sees that John's actually trying. Ison because, you know, he's just kind of like, John honestly hasn't really done much to give us a reason to not let him, like, let's just let him go, see what happens. Arlo because he's probably thinking like, John's actually putting an effort, like, it's a gamble, but you know what, like, we do need more backup in Rowden, so I'm voting yes. And I do think that Blake will vote John to not be allowed just because Blake's being kind of an ass right now. But it's completely understandable and within Blake's character. And Serafina will vote no just out of trying to keep John safe and off the trip and out of Spectre's grips. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys... Let me know how you guys think the voting is going to go next week down below. And I will see you all next time. So... guys, be sure to give UnOrdinary a read if you can. Feel free to follow me on the socials down below. Join the Discord. And as always, you guys, I will see you next time. So, see you, Space Cowboy.